and also breadth of the skills. Under this pretext, we shall talk about computer security. Computer security is all about studying cyber attacks on an automated information system with a view of defending or protecting that automated information system against such attacks. It involves preserving of information system resources that include hardware, software, firmware, information, data, and telecommunication systems. Using computer security, we need to provide confidentiality, integrity, and availability of these information system related resources. As days are progressing, the development of software is becoming a very complex phenomena, and it involves content, communication, computer network, and different computational devices. The computer systems are no more restricted to protected areas of a particular organization, but spread across the world as an integrated and heterogeneous systems with varying forms of the data getting communicated over network using different types of protocols. And in making the decisions, data is becoming very crucial. The entire nation's information or financial institutes information or any planning related information or any defense related confidential information, all these are being stored in the digital form in different types of and in different forms of computational devices and also in encrypted form. And as the days are progressing, this data is creating a much valued strategic competitive edge of a particular country as well as institutes. Because of all these aspects, computer security is gaining importance. This particular word, computer security, is involving two connected words within that. One is cyber, second one is security. We frequently hear the word cyber. It is an objective or prefix which means relating to or characteristic of the culture of computers, information technology, and virtual reality. So when we use the word cyber age, I mean an age of computers, virtual reality, or information technology. So when we use the word cyber along with another word, it is going to get the meaning based on the context. Now tell me what you mean by cyberspace, cyber attack, cyber crime, cyber cafe, cyber game, cyber bullying, cyber addict, cyber warfare, cyber law, and so on and so forth. The word is getting redefined in the digital age, and these words become more and more predominant and they become lingua franca of day-to-day life. Now with this, we shall try to go into the cyber security to the next level. Now cyber security, what does it involve? It involves techniques and practices designed to protect data. And it applies to digital data because ultimately we understand that all other resources in the form of computational devices, communication networks and connectivity are all about using this data and provide value to the intended users. So it becomes very crucial to give security of this data which is being maintained under cyberspace. And such a digital data may be in the form of stored data, or it can be data in use, or data that is getting transmitted. For the static data, which is in the form of stored data, and also the dynamic data or transient data, that is data in use and data under transmission, we need to provide cyber security. So three key objectives we have to fulfill when we try to address computer security or cyber security. One is about providing confidentiality. So data confidentiality and privacy, these are very crucial here. Means any data is the confidential asset of its originator, and either as an individual or as an institute, one is having the privilege and control, and most of the time it becomes intellectual property of a particular individual or an institute. Without any permission or authorization, such data cannot be used by scrupulous elements or individuals. So it becomes very crucial to maintain confidentiality of the data, and also privacy of any individual must be protected. Second one is ensuring integrity. One is data integrity, means duplicate data, redundant data or conflicting data. All such things are not acceptable. We have to ensure that data is going to convey the right meaning, and also the data is not redundant and disconnected. We have to ensure that data integrity must be maintained at any point of time. STEM integrity also must be ensured. When we talk about the word STEM, means it is talking about the wholesome representation of the data, means internally as well as externally there should be proper connection among the data, and whatever the behavior and also the exhibition of the particular results and other things are being noticed by us, it should be well connected, and also there should be proper representation. The STEM integrity talks about wholesome of the data represented. Third one is availability of the data. Denying any access to the authorized people is not acceptable. We have to ensure that data is available to the right people who are being authorized, and also proper privileges of usage of this data must be ensured. In brief, cyber security involves protecting data from unauthorized access, which is being referred as providing confidentiality, protect data from unauthorized modification, that is ensuring integrity, protect data from unauthorized deletion, that is ensuring that data availability. So unauthorized access, this particular thing is going to play very crucial word here. Means data should be available to authorized people and there should not be any access to unauthorized people. Now we shall move to the second part of the session, that is we shall discuss about cyber attacks and what are the motives behind such attacks and goals behind cyber attacks. Under this, we shall study on what are the motives and goals behind cyber attacks, what are the common cyber attacks, what is the meaning of vulnerability, and what are the different vulnerability classes in the domain of cyber security. What are the motives and goals behind cyber attacks? The first motive and goal is sheer thrill. Under the modern age, there are many intelligent and focused people who are obsessive programmers and adults, teens, dropouts from the school. All these people are actually carrying out cyber attacks just to have a sheer thrill. And many of these teenagers are not having the ability to differentiate between what is ethical and legal and what is unethical and illegal. With this ignorance and innocence about the laws and other things, by being very good technical skills, these people are actually for carrying out cyber attacks just to have sheer thrill. For example, in 1988, student released a worm. In 1991, Melissa virus, and in 2001, Kornikova virus. Most of these things are being carried out by college students. And second motive and goal is actually a set of people working with a particular motive. These people are called as script kiddies. And when you search any internet, then you will get a lot of attacking kits which are freely available that are designed by others. These script kiddies use these tools to carry out cyber attacks. And there is no need of having any special program skills or advanced knowledge of computer systems to carry out these tasks. So that is the difference between sheer thrill and script kiddies. In sheer thrill, the people with higher competency and skills will carry out, but in script kiddies, it is just by making use of free available tools on the internet. The people with lesser programming skills, they carry out the cyber attacks. Next motive is disgruntled employees. So company insiders who is to even score with their employers. If any supervisor or higher ups or any organization has taken action against a particular employee, then that employee is interested in taking revenge. So such people are falling into the group of disgruntled employees. These people may intentionally delete some data or steal data, and they may sell some external people or try to damage any computer resources of the institute. The next motivation is in the form of cyber terrorism. As the word is becoming more and more connected, cyber terrorism is becoming a very predominant field. This actually reflects the act carried out by extremists or political enemies. They espouse extreme religious or political causes. Their goals are to cripple the information or communication systems of the government or financial institution or business institution. The next motive or goal behind cyber attacks is financial gain. This involves selling information for money that is captured by theft of sensitive information or disruption of services or through illegal access to or use of resources. The theft of sensitive information in the form of political espionage so as to harm the opponent, and also identity theft means any bank user and others that their information is being captured by illegal means, and that will be either sold or used for a particular gain. So disruption of services means denying services to authorized users, that is another form, or illegal access to or use information resources. Now, with understanding these motives and goals of a different set of people and different set of agendas, how can you provide the protection for data and information and computer resources? That's a big question we start answering in remaining sessions. If we have to address that, we have to understand what are the common type of cyber attacks and what type of vulnerabilities are involved. If we want to protect and provide cyber security, understanding vulnerabilities and their pattern becomes very crucial, and it becomes the first step. We can classify the cyber attacks into 4 categories. One is about retrieving personal information from an individual. This we carry out through phishing and pharming. Means when I am talking about cyber attacks, I am perceiving myself as if I am carrying out cyber attacks like that. Under that context, I define that. Means the people who are interested in carrying out cyber attacks, their agenda may be to retrieve personal info from an individual. You make the use of the word phishing or pharming techniques. Second one is leakage of personal information. This may happen by making use of the techniques called skimming, slide channel attacks, or snooping or eavesdropping. The third category of cyber attack belongs to denial of services or DOS. Denial of services or DOS. Here, by putting some load, by creating some scenario, the cyber attacker may exhaust computer resources so that it cannot be used by authorized users. Or it may involve some website defacement or slowing down the web servers so that services for intended users and authorized users can be denied them. The fourth category of cyber attack belongs to making use of malwares. Worms, viruses, spyware, and all such things are coming under this category. With this, we shall discuss something in detail about this. In the first category, retrieving personal information from an individual. So phishing is the first technique being used. Here, the person who is involved in cyber attacking, he is luring victim. Means there can be some calls, or there can be some emails, or there can be some messages being sent through computational devices like mobile devices or internet or through your email with some link to website with wonderful proposals. Become a millionaire overnight, or you will get some freebies. You log your name and reveal your information so that you will get some flight tickets, all such things. And people get attracted and they click the URL, they go to the website which totally is look alike and make you to believe that you are actually working under very secured website of a particular organization, but this website created by hackers or cyber attackers is totally fake. And with no knowledge of that, hurriedly you are going to provide all your sensitive information, and this sensitive information will be used for some other objectives later. Second form of retrieving the personal information from an individual is through farming. In farming, a hacker infiltrates a computer system and installs some malicious code. Means he goes to some PCs or mobile devices or servers, and the hacker just puts some malicious code into it. As soon as some activity takes place on that website, that malicious code is getting executed, and the website traffic and operations that are being carried out by individuals, all such things is transmitted to fake sites created by the hacker. Like this, either luring the victim or infiltrating into the computer system of users and authorized people, the hackers are going to take out the most important personal information and try to misuse it. Second category of cyber attacks belonging to leakage of personal information. First one is skimming here. Many times in the ATMs and other things, these people illegally and unlawfully put small device which may not be visible to common people. As soon as we make use of our card or something like that, swipe it, this small device is going to collect the card information and being used for gains by the attackers later. So skimming is all about fraudsters procurement of card information with a most advanced approach involving a small device called a skimmer. Second type of technique being used to ensure that leakage of personal information takes place is by making use of side channel attacks. Security exploit that involves collecting information about what a computing device does when it is performing cryptographic operations and using that information to reverse engineer the device's cryptography system takes place here. So ultimately objective is to collect the information, and here a computing device, what happens on the computing device whenever cryptographic operations of encryption, decryption or such thing is taking place, that is being watched by the hacker, and by using that one he recreates the similar type of scenarios and take out much valuable personal information. Snooping or eaves teasing is another way of ensuring leakage of personal information. The hackers who use snooping or eavesdropping listen to the traffic between two machines on your network. If traffic includes passing unencrypted passwords, an unauthorized individual can potentially access your network and read your confidential data and make use of such data for his personal gain. So this is another technique being used. Third type of cyber attack category belongs to denial of service or DOS. Here the penetrator seeks to make machine or network resource unavailable to its intended users by temporarily or indefinitely disrupting services of a host connected to the internet by exhausting computer resources, means forcing some delay, and user waits for some response. Since computer resources are exhausted, you don't know, the authorized user does not get a proper response, and then he doesn't use that service. For example, let us say you purchase some item online. If the resources are very weak, then you will not be in a position to pay the amount. You wait for 1 minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and finally you feel desperate and get out of the system without doing the purchases. Or through website defacement. When you visit any website is not available, or it may not be making any sense, it can be in some other language. All such things also may take place here. Or slowing down the web server so as to ensure that the denial of services will be taking place, since the response time will be pathetic. Fourth type of cyber attacks will be in the form of malwares. Cyber criminals create malicious software that is installed on someone else's device without their knowledge to gain access to personal information or to damage the device, usually for financial gain. Worms and Trojan horses, spyware, all such things are falling into this category. The viruses typically infect a file, and through that file, whenever that file is being used, the virus replicates and spreads from one file to another file. Means infection basically is at the file level, and from the file as the originator, it spreads to other files whenever that file is being used. In case of worms, they are standalone programs. They are not aiming at any file, but they are infecting the computer, and from that computer it goes to some other computer, and then like that, from computer to computer, the entire infection is getting spread. In case of Trojan horses, malicious software developed by hackers as legitimate software to get access to the system to extract sensitive data. Means the objective here is to get into the system which otherwise shall be to extract sensitive data from that. Fourth type of malware is spyware. Malicious software installed on the system that monitors, and monitoring the user activity, the sensitive information is stolen, and also how this usage of the data is taking place on the internet, that also being studied here, and it is being relayed to advertisers, data firms, or external users. Now, with this knowledge about what is the meaning of cyber security and what are the different forms of cyber attacks, we shall move to the vulnerability and vulnerability classes. When we try to provide cyber security, the first and foremost step that need to be taken is understanding what are the possible vulnerabilities and trying to take measures towards it. The other side, the cyber attackers, if they want to attack any system, then they also use vulnerability and vulnerability classes as the first step. They study, and after that they are going to pick up any of the 4 techniques and sub techniques that we discussed and use it to take out much valuable information or get access into the secured systems. Now we shall discuss about what are the different vulnerabilities and what is the meaning of vulnerability. A vulnerability is a weakness or lacuna in a policy, procedure, protocol, hardware or software within an organization that has the potential to cause a damage. Means basically it is talking at policy level, procedure level, protocol level, hardware level or software level within an organization. And once we understand these weaknesses, then either we can take protective measures or hackers understand these weaknesses and trying to use these vulnerabilities as the means of doing unethical and unlawful activities. These vulnerability types basically are of 4 types. One is human vulnerabilities, protocol vulnerabilities, and software vulnerabilities, and configuration vulnerabilities. First, we shall discuss about the vulnerabilities. These are induced by careless and unthinking human behavior. Means whenever very luring mail comes from cyber attackers or hackers, and to make a gain of some financial things, or with the means of becoming rich overnight, we become greedy and click the link in an email message which is from questionable source, and then we provide all our information. Then phishing and cross-site scripting attacks may take place using such information. Second type of vulnerability is protocol vulnerabilities. Here, attack on commonly used networking protocols such as TCP/IP or ARP or ICMP and DNS take place here. Here, connection hijacking caused by ARP spoofing or denial of service attacks, which exploit the 3-way TCP handshake, or farming attacks are being used to exploit vulnerabilities in DNS. Next vulnerability type is caused by sloppy software. Software may perform as expected under normal conditions, but when provided with specific input, it turns malicious. Means we may inject some SQL query, or there can be some overflow, or there can be cross-site. When we click the script in one, then actually it is getting connected to some other site. Such things may be taking place here. We will be studying all these later. So the sloppy software may cause buffer overflow or cross-site scripting or SQL injection vulnerabilities, so that whenever these are being executed, the software starts misbehave. Next type of vulnerability is about configuration vulnerabilities. These are related to settings on system or application software or on files, etc. When you try to get the most from the system, especially in the automated systems of an organization, we always configure by providing some information and set the system for use. This is called as configuring the system. When we do it, the configuration setting can take place at the system, where we mention that what is the name of the organization, which location it is getting used, and all such information. Or it can be at application software, asking for login, password, and other things, or some files which shall be copied, and these files will be used later. So here, if we do not provide appropriate read, write, and execute permissions, and if we make it available for all public, then the people may delete or copy or misuse the system. In order to protect it, we have to ensure different privilege level. What are the privilege system admin should have, supervisor shall have, employee shall have, and which shall be available, which shall not be available, what data shall be shared, what data is private information, all such will be decided here. So these are basically 4 types of configuration vulnerabilities. Now this particular diagram is providing total information. One is related to identity theft, second one is information theft, third one is reception of, fourth one is information warfare. In identity theft, we may be using phishing, skimming, farming, eavesdropping, or session hijacking, and by doing it, we are going to hit applications or operating systems and try to use the system. In case of information theft, making use of intrusions, either impersonation or privilege escalation to get access to the information and operating system, we try to use the systems. In the next one is disruption of services. Here we either attack protocol based systems or application based system and try to misuse it. And in the fourth one, information warfare, the cyber attackers, they are actually creating malware, worms, viruses, and trojans, and using them they attack the SQL through SQL injection, buffer overflow, or the cross-site scripting. So this is basis for us to build the entire course. In brief, the cyber is a collection of computational devices, and most of the digital data is either stored or getting transmitted or being used in the digital form. In the modern day of digital age, there is continuous effort placed to attack and take out such valuable digital information to use it for unlawful and unethical activities is taking place. To do that thing, there are different types of patterns of attacking are devised by the cyber attackers. These cyber attackers are, as a first step, they always look at vulnerabilities, either at software level or system level or files level or policy level or procedure level or at the software level. And by understanding these vulnerabilities, they devise their own attacking strategy or hacking strategy.